Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Power Vacuum. I'm your host, Belmont. And in this episode, or this whatever, I'm going to be talking about some good news for us Obsidian fans. From PC Gamer, Fallout New Vegas lead writer returns to Obsidian after leaving 14 years ago. But before you ask, no, it's not for Fallout New Vegas 2. Yeah, that's that's pretty much everyone's reaction. We heard the news, we're happy, but we're sad. 14 years after leaving Obsidian Entertainment to ply his trade on games including in Guardians of Middle-earth, Hero, Horizon Zero Dawn, and Horizon Forbidden West, Fallout New Vegas creative design lead John Gonzalez has returned. But don't get too excited, New Vegas fans, because he says it's not for New Vegas 2. I don't yeah, let me pause real quick. I don't know why anyone thinks Fallout New Vegas 2 is going to happen. And if it does, it's probably not going to be Obsidian doing it. Bethesda would probably try to either do it themselves or outsource to a new company. It would be amazing if they did Fallout New Vegas 2. I don't know what you would do though, unless there's some really unfinished stories that they want to do or some furthering adventures. I guess it all depends on how well the Fallout Season 2 TV show handles New Vegas, because obviously that's where they're going. If you watch the show, you know that. But that story's kind of been told, at least game wise. I don't know what they would broach it. I also don't know why Obsidian would care about that now that they have the Outer Worlds as their own franchise, and they should just be working on the Outer Worlds too and branching out that universe and not working on anybody else's universe. Just my opinion, but let's continue. I'm happy to share that I'm starting a new position as creative director at Obsidian Entertainment, Gonzalez wrote in a brief message on LinkedIn via games industry. Really, LinkedIn? People are still using that? I guess so. Clearly anticipating what this announcement would lead to, he added in a quick note further down the page, back to Obsidian for exciting times. No, it's not Fallout New Vegas 2. Gonzalez played a big role in creation of Fallout New Vegas. The extent that lead designer Josh Sawyer clarified his contributions in 2022 thread on X. John Gonzalez was the lead creative designer, effectively writing lead on Fallout New Vegas, Sawyer wrote. He wrote the main plot from Chris Avalone's starting incident, shot in the head, dropped in a grave in the desert, and my endpoint, second battle of Hoover Dam. He created and wrote House, designed the families of the strip, and wrote many major characters, including House, Caesar, Benny, Yes Man, and Volpes and Colta. Jeez, he wrote like the half the fucking game. He also wrote Ricky and Stella in Honest Hearts, as well as the survivalist Randall Clark logs. Yeah, dude, he basically wrote half the game. Uh, I'm not reading that. It's basically the same thing they just said. That's an awfully big chunk of an awfully big game, and you can understand why fans might expect, or at least hope, that after more than a decade away, Gonzalez, who's also earned acclaim for his work as narrative director on Guerrilla's Horizon games, is coming back for the Fallout games fans have been demanding for years. It's a shame for them that he's not, but take heart. He may not have returned for Obsidian for New Vegas 2, but some kind of undiscussed new Fallout? Hey, anything's possible. No, 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 no new Fallouts for that. Obsidian needs to stay away from Fallout. They have their own IPs they need to be working on. And we would like that very much. Obsidian is also currently working on the Outer Worlds 2, which has a bit of a Fallout flavor to it. Yes, yes, it does. That's one. That one's currently expected out sometime this year, and I can't wait. I hope they don't fuck it up. I hope it stays true to the feel and theme of the first one. I am currently replaying the first one because I've never done the DLC. I'm in the midst of Gorgon right now, and I have to level up more to get to Eridos. But oh, that's the end of the article. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, The Outer Worlds 2 should prove to be an amazing game. Let's just jump right into this next PC Gamer article about it. Everything we know about Obsidian's sci-fi sequel. Wait, when did this come out? How old is this? December 19th. Oh, I missed this one. The Outer Worlds 2 is Obsidian Entertainment's sequel to a well-received sci-fi comedy adventure from 2019, and after an E3 2021 debut, it functionally retreated into deep space while Obsidian toiled away on its other development titles like Avowed, but the studio followed up again in 2024. Yeah, Avowed looks interesting. It's it feels oversaturated. I don't know if that's what Obsidian's going for now, like oversaturating every game they make. Fallout New Vegas was very gray and dull, and I don't know if that was that direction from Bethesda to be like, "Hey, you gotta make everything Bethesda brown. That's our shtick," or if they just came to the realization it's a desert scenario, so there shouldn't really be a lot of color. The Outer Worlds is very colorful, and Avowed looks very colorful, but the team working on Avowed has kind of soured a little bit of my taste for that game. At first, I was interested. I wasn't intrigued. It never really intrigued me. It looked like a Skyrim clone. And if I want to play anything that's similar to Skyrim but different, I'm going to play Kingdoms of Amalur. Because if you haven't played Kingdoms of Amalur, it's unfortunately a failure, but one of the best games that has been made for third person action adventure. It's a masterpiece. And it sucks that it didn't sell and didn't get as much acclaim. But The Outer Worlds was everything that I was hoping Starfield would be. Like, Starfield was, in my mind, a colossal failure for Bethesda. They made the No Man's Sky mistake. They promised too much too fast, and they were not able to deliver on what it seemed. The game was mostly a bunch of empty space. Sure, there were a ton of worlds to explore, but every planet had three different things to do on it. And then once you did those three things, it was just vast wastelands of nothing. Where the Outer Worlds only had a few planets on it, and there was a ton of shit to do on each one, which is what I want. If you're gonna make a game that's space travel and exploring and fun, you don't need your worlds to be empty. Are the majority of the worlds and planets out in space empty? Yes, but we don't go to those ones for a reason. In an action adventure fantasy sci-fi game, you don't want your planets to be empty. You want them jammed packed full of content to keep people intrigued. Outer Worlds kept me very intrigued. The DLC so far has kept me very intrigued, and I hope Outer Worlds 2 maintains that. I don't know if Avowed is going to be a success or a failure. It seems like it's being set up to be a failure because they're pulling the whole look at our wokeness, which even if a game is woke, this is the message to developers. Even if you have modern day politics in it, don't talk about it until after the game's out. Don't announce this shit because you're just going to drive people away. Gamers are sick of real world events and politics being put into fantasy worlds, into sci-fi worlds, into video games. Games are to be, or not to be, games should be an escape from reality, not a reminder of it. Right? A little mini rant over. Let's continue on and see what we have here. Um, I just want to know if there's a release date officially yet. Sometime in 2025. See, that's so vague. Sometime in 2025 could be like December 27th, 2025. It came out in 2025 though. Oh, is there a gameplay trailer? All right, we're gonna pop this up. We're gonna see what we got here. This is supposed to be gameplay trailer for Outer Worlds Part 2.
From the studio that brought you Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, Part 2.
Yes. Okay.
Neverwinter Nights, Part
Part
2.
2. Yeah, okay. I see what they're doing here. Yeah, they made a lot of
And
sequels for
Fallout
people.
3, Part 2. New Vegas. Comes a
This is
completely
hilarious.
original
That okay.
part.
They're highlighting the fact that they were brought in to do what is effectively sequels to a bunch of games, and calling Fallout New Vegas Fallout 3 Part 2 is a genius move. But yeah, they made Coder 2. They made Neverwinter Nights 2. They did excellent jobs. My only complaint about Coder is that they changed the button mapping and layout of the game, and I didn't feel it was necessary. The story was fine, the character development was fine. I actually loved how they expanded on being able to corrupt or redeem characters with yours and thus change like their fate and how things affected in the world. It was just the button mapping that took if you play one Coder 1 and then Coder 2 back to back, it's a jarring change. But
Part 2.
Outer
And
Worlds
like all
Part
good
2.
sequels, we've included everything that should have been in the first game. More action. More weapons. And more graphics.
Okay.
Get ready for an adventure that took 3 times longer to make, but will almost certainly be 2 times bigger.
Baby, 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 you ain't seen nothing yet.
Nope. Alright, we gotta stop right there. Uh, copyrighted music. I thought that was just some guy going baby. But then they were like, "No, no, no, copyrighted music." Yeah. So should be exciting. I don't know since it appears to be almost done. It might not be done. They might be still working some kinks out, and that's what they brought him in for to help with the writing. Or they might already be working on the DLC because that's what a lot of games do is they make the game and then immediately start working on the DLC so they can make sure it ties into the game properly or it doesn't have issues with it mechanically. But we'll see what he's doing. Gonzalez is back, baby. And that just spells good news for Obsidian. Maybe after the backlash of the Avowed writing team, they were like, let's bring in a seasoned pro and distract everyone, or let's bring him back to fix some things. Because it seems that games uh have this issue. They've started taking after Hollywood where horrible people fail upwards, and I will be talking about that in another video soon because it is a major problem in my mind that people that have failure after failure that don't do good things manage to keep getting work in these industries. I gotta stop. I'll go on to the rant. I'll run into it. We're gonna call this video right there. Belmont out.